Though I originally do my first time watches and rewatches separately, but since I decided to keep things separately, here I go with a back-to-back ranking of what I watched for the first time and what I rewatched for the month of October, excluding the horror flicks. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings to my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Joel, better known to you as a Big D, excuse me there. With a special back-to-back ranking, I'm going to rank all the flicks I watched for the first time and rewatched for last month in October. Now, these lists will only be the non-horror flicks. You will get two separate rankings for the Spooktacular October first time watches and Spooktacular October rewatches later on. For now, I decided to do with the first time watches first, since there are 7 flicks that I've watched. So if you're ready, let's get into the ranking. But, well, I explained in my recent vid that I wouldn't show my face, but that will be for Spooktacular October ones. I'm going to try and take my time with these, but I'm still going to go a little rapid fire on these, okay? Alright, here we go. Coming in at number 7 is The Many Saints of Newark, a Sopranos story. Now, this film was pretty good. I'm sorry it's at the bottom, though, but I still liked it for what it was. We get to see, well, the origins of Tony Soprano when he was just a young one. And, his family. I gotta give credit to the cast and that included the son of the late great James Gandolfini, Michael, and Alessandro Nivola was good. The rest of the cast was pretty good, and Vera Farmiga was good too. It's Tony's mother, very good. I gotta say, this was pretty good. Sorry it didn't do so well, but well, there's always a chance they may get going with another one. We'll see what happens, though. It's still a pretty good crime drama of a flick. I think you might enjoy it if you give it a chance. Now, coming in at number 6 is My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission, which I recently did a spoiler-free review of the other day. And I've seen that's already been getting so many views. I'm impressed now. I can't understand what happened to my review of the previous film. It just vanished. But anyway, this film was just about as good as its predecessor. It had a lot of good action, good thrills, and all that jazz that I got from the last movie. But I'm going to tell you, it just wish I could have seen more and just, well, some of the 3 main heroes. We could have seen more of the others, but even though they were in different parts of the world. But they still did a pretty good job in taking out the bad guy. I gotta say, it was really awesome. This is one great anime flick, and I really did enjoy it. I really did. Now, coming in at number 5 is The Last Duel. Now, while this unfortunately also tanked at the box office, I still thought it was pretty good in ways. I mean, it had a pretty good cast that included Matt Damon and Ben Affleck reteaming for the first time in years. We also had Joey Comer and Adam Driver. They were good too. But I gotta say, this was pretty good and historical and what have you. Ridley Scott was good in his direction with this, so I gotta say it's not too bad of a movie. I still wish it could have done better. Oh well. Nobody's perfect. I mean, it's not the first time Mr. Scott's had a big disappointment of a flick. I'm sure that's happened before. But don't worry, I'm not trying to be rude to him in any way, thank you. So anyway, Last Duel is pretty good, though. Now, coming in at number 4 is Well, the only non-2021 flick I got to watch for the first time, that was Live Free or Die Hard from 2007. Now, although I have seen some of this movie, but I failed to see the movie completely, though. So I watched it on Peacock, and I gotta tell you, it was fun and action-packed. While it may not have gotten an R rating like the other three movies, which we'll see where those wind up on the rewatches, which is coming up in just a bit. I'm gonna say this is pretty good. It's action packed. Bruce Willis once again nails it, and I gotta say it was pretty good. And that means I've seen 4 of the Die Hard films. Only A Good Day to Die Hard I still have yet to see. And I know that film wasn't very big and what have you, and I understand. So anyway, it was still pretty good. The character John McClane was awesome. So I really did enjoy it. Timothy Olyphant, that's the bad guy, really good. Justin Long was good. So was Maggie Q. Mary Elizabeth Winstead's pretty good in this too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So anyway, Live Free or Die Hard, that's an awesome movie. I plan to review Die Hard next month, the original, but I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. Now coming in at number 3 is Dune, or as it'll probably now be, Dune Part 1, as it was shown on the movie. I gotta say, this movie was awesome. I really did enjoy it. I'm happy that I got to have read that Warner Bros. And Legendary have confirmed they will do Part 2, but it won't come out until October 2023. So we'll hope for the best that a lot of us will be alive and kicking to see it. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. Dennis Villeneuve's direction was really good, and the cast was all good. I don't know what to tell you. It was all good. Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa. Oh, the list goes on. It's awesome. Dune 2021, I really do love this one. We'll see where the original winds up on the rewatches when I get to that, okay? But anyway, Dune 2021, it's awesome. Now the final 2, this was a tough decision, as we had 2 good action-packed movies. So coming in at number 2 is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now I must say this was even better than its predecessor. Tom Hardy once again was really good in this. I gotta say, I liked Woody Harrelson's performance as Cleus Cassidy alias Carnage. I gotta say, this was just so good. This was another film that saved the box office since after Shang-Chi had recently done the previous month. This was just awesome. And I will say it's just one of the greats. So this could be one of my top movies for 2021. You never can tell. Maybe in the top 10, maybe? Just stay tuned and find out. This had so much action and what I mean, it had a lot of humor and all that jazz, but still, it was still worth a watch. The final confrontation between Venom and Carnage was awesome. So, enough said about it. It's awesome. And my number 1 first and coming on top of my October 1st time watches, number 1 is No Time to Die, the latest James Bond flick, the one I had really waited for since it was originally supposed to come out last year. But anyway, finally got to go see it, and it's a blast. I mean, Daniel Craig definitely nails it in his final performance as 007. And I gotta say, this was definitely a good one. Well, although I didn't really confirm a date for the Daniel Craig Bond flicks ranking, but stay tuned. I may be able to squeeze it in somewhere. Just stay tuned. I don't know when, but I will find a spot for it. Details to follow. Anyway, everyone was really good. Rami Malek was good, and we were all surprised to see everyone in this. Of course, the theme song done by Billie Eilish was really good. I'm just going to tell you, this was just so awesome. I really enjoyed No Time to Die. It had a lot of good action, suspense, everything you can get from a James Bond movie. In considering it was the longest in any other James Bond film, I still enjoyed it. And that's why No Time to Die is my number one first time watch of October 2021. Now on to the October rewatches. Again, no horror flicks. You will see two films that are factually considered horror, but they're more like suspense flicks, though, or thrillers, okay? So I didn't count those as spooktacular flicks, though. Sorry, everyone. So there are 6 of them, so here we go. Coming in at number 6 on this October rewatches ranking is The Good Son from 1993. Definitely a guilty pleasure, even though I've only seen it a few times. I know this film I sort of compare it to The Omen, only it involves just an actual kid who's just, boy, just a real troublemaker. Anyway, it is kind of a psychological thriller, but it just didn't have much of a complete horrifying feel to it to make the spooktacular one, because there wasn't anything spooky about this except maybe for some of the stuff we saw, because it was more suspenseful. With having a big car crash pile up and what have you, and yeah, and all that stuff. Macaulay Culkin definitely was awesome in this. Don't get me wrong, I still like him better in Home Alone and Home Alone 2 and My Girl, which I'll be reviewing later on this month. Um, young Elijah Wood, he's really good. And, well, it's just so much of a reasonably good flick and what have you. So, but you don't have to take my word for it. You be the judge. The Good Son's not too bad of a movie, though. Now, coming in at number 5 is Die Hard with a Vengeance from 1995. Well, this is kind of a mixed bag to everyone, but I still like it for certain reasons. Bruce Willis is still good as John McClane, and Samuel L. Jackson, he's outrageously crazy and what have you. And Jeremy Irons was really good as the bad guy, who of course was the brother to Hans from the first movie, which we'll see where that winds up. This was just so good. And it was written by Jonathan Hensley, who would later go on to work on The Punisher with Thomas Jane. Yeah, really something. It's pretty cool. And action-packed, too. This was just kind of based on the screenplay of Simon Says. Just incredible. I did enjoy this. Again, I'll try and review some of the Die Hard flicks down the road. I'll review the original next month. Not sure when I'll review the others. I might review the same one, but we'll see where that winds up too. But Die Hard with a Vengeance is action-packed. Don't get me wrong. It's not too bad of a movie. Now, coming in at number 4 is The Crush from 1993. I love this movie. This is definitely a guilty pleasure. Now, this, of course, is the film that actually was the real introduction of Alicia Silverstone before Clueless. And, of course, she was already big. I believe this came out right about the time she had already become big in the vids for Aerosmith's songs from their Get a Grip album. Or I think it might have just been before that. But anyway, it's pretty good. It's an excellent psychotic thriller, as one person says. But Anyway, I liked it. Carrie Elwes is really good. Kurtwood Smith, not too bad. Jennifer Rubin's in this as well. I almost didn't know that was her. I mean, of course, you know her best as Taryn White, the junkie chick from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Yeah. This film is so underrated. I've already reviewed this film. If you've never seen this film, I'd highly recommend it. This is so much fun. I gotta tell you, Alicia Silverstone easily steals the show in this as Adrian. She was really good. I really love this movie. But you don't have to take my word for it. You be the judge. Now coming in at number 3 is kind of a bit of a shock. The same titled film that was started on the first time watches. The original Dune from 1984. And I know this film got dissed when it came out, of course. But this film was just so good and what have you. I finally took the time to rewatch it after I had watched it some time. But I loved this movie. Kyle MacLachlan is good as Paul Atreides, excuse me. Along with a host of others, this was just so good. A lot of the performances we got from everyone. There's Sting, Virginia Madsen, Brad Dourif, Jose Ferrer, Linda Hunt, Virginia Madsen, Max von Sydow, may he rest in peace, and Sean Young, Dean Stockwell, Sir Patrick Stewart. Oh, the list goes on. But this film was just so good, and I like the score from Toto. Yeah, it's really good. But anyway, I still like the new Dune a little more. But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. But the original classic Dune's good. I mean, considering they took both parts and made one whole movie. But I'd say Warner Bros. Made the right decision to make it 2 separate parts now. So we'll see what happens and hope for the best. Right? Right. Alright, now coming in at number 2 is Die Hard 2 from 1990. Now, I hadn't seen this film for some time, but I gotta say, this is awesome. Rennie Harlan does a good job in directing this. Bruce Willis once again nails it as John McClane, and, well, I gotta say, this was just so much action-packed. But I still do think it's still one of the greats. Okay, well, I think I will review Die Hard 2 next month as well. So we'll see what happens since that takes place on Christmas Eve. Anyway, it's really cool seeing McClane take on these terrorists before his wife's plane and several other incoming flights circling around the airport, run out of fuel and crash. Yeah, incredible. Especially the best part when he takes out the bad guys in their plane. Awesome, you know. But anyway, this was just so cool. Die Hard 2 is definitely worth watching. And finally, my number 1 rewatch of October 2021, which is not horror, is the original Die Hard from 1988. Love this movie. I saw this film on TV a few years back on IFC, and I decided to rewatch it since it was on Prime, along with the other 2, but I watched the 4th one on Peacock. But anyway, it's grown on me more, and I love it. This is one of my favorite Bruce Willis films now. I gotta say, it's awesome. He nails it big time as John McClane. I really did love the performances from everyone. Paul Gleason, Reginald VelJohnson, and of course the late great Alan Rickman as Hans. Absolutely very good. This is easily one of the most exciting action-packed flicks that I have come to know, love, and enjoy. Anyway, like I said, you will get a review of the first two Die Hard movies later on next month. I will review the rest down the road if I can ever find a way to watch A Good Day to Die Hard. But anyway, you know this movie, and it is so awesome. You can't go wrong with the original Die Hard. It's really good. Anyway, that's going to do it for my ranking. What did you think of these two rankings? You can tell me what you thought about them in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below. Subscribe to my channel and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned for my review of Monsters Incorporated coming up, and then stay tuned for the Spooktacular First Times ranking and the Spooktacular Rewatches ranking. Okay? Alright, so thanks for watching, and if you like this, you may want to consider checking out my reviews for some of the movies I recently brought up. In the upper left-hand corner is my review for No Time to Die. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And the bottom left-hand corner, I'll take my chances and give y'all my review of the original Dune, considering my 21 review is still not done too well. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.